What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 52 of the Sea of Souls live stream Dungeon Dragons campaign brought to you by the Elder Brain. Who is we? We are the Elder Brain. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're checking us out live on Twitch, yay! That's the best way to consume our content. Otherwise, check out our link tree posted below to find all of our other socials, and you can catch our VODs and our podcasts and all that good stuff. Make sure that you check out our Discord as well. Join our Discord. We're going to be putting some playtest material for our campaign setting in our Discord coming in the new year. So if you want to playtest some 5e, all kinds of new material, like we're talking new player races and or species or kin or whatever we decide to call it, possibly spells, but I don't know, we're gonna put all kinds of crazy stuff in there. So if you want to playtest some stuff and let us know what you think, then that's the place to join, so you can do that, and you'll get your name in a book, which is always cool. But yeah, do those things. Next week is our holiday one shot. So this is our last stream of our game, our campaign game for the year. And then next week we'll be doing our holiday one shot, DM'd by Devin. Then we'll be off for a few weeks until 2023, and provided that the world doesn't explode before then we'll be back in the new year with more.
Should we be worried it will?
I don't know. I mean,
hope for the best and plan for the worst. I say
things be crazy right now. That's all I'm saying. But that's why we play D&D, for escapism. So, anyways, yeah. So that's what is coming up. Check the things, follow, do the likes, and all those things. Yeah, no more jabbing, jibbity jabbing. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. So. We didn't stream last week, just because availability and stuff. So I did some mapping and everything. So it's been a couple of weeks. Last time we did a bit of a fast forward, sort of a month, as Valtear underwent some repairs and salvaging after the massive tidal wave that kind of wrecked everything. There was a council session that was held to determine that what the future of Valtear was going to be. And so Valtear has elected to move on from the Veil line. We'll create a new democratic council to lead going forward. And you've all prepared to set sail, to leave behind this troubled city. Serena has indicated that she will not be accompanying you for the time being. She needs to return to Gloamcoven, to her order, to do some research, find some more information, and just kind of touch base with those that she serves with as well. And so for the moment, your destiny, your destination are on the winds, and where you voyage next is entirely up to you. You have been given, well, specifically Taylind has been given a keep, the Veil Keep, in the location of Queous, which is on the opposite side of Dasuna's Rim from Valtear. There's other exploring to do. You have a map that Serena had previously given you that has some different locations on it. You have some information of void gates and the like in the area based on Silas's information. And so there's open possibilities. And as we set sail from Valtear, gentlemen, where to?
Well, I think we won't be able to go anywhere before we check out Taylind's digs. I don't imagine he's going to let us go anywhere else.
I would probably preemptively second that as well. Just, as long as we're here.
Yeah. Craig, could you pull up Serena's map, or do we have access to that somewhere?
I certainly can. Why, it's almost as if I had that prepared for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What ho?
So, we've got a risen temple just north of Valtear. Where'd it come from? Strange lighthouse. Queous.
I believe Queous is where the mansion is.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, Risen Temple sounds interesting, considering where it is, especially.
True.
Strange Lighthouse also.
I mean, technically, either one of them is on the way to your family mansion.
Perhaps it would be best to determine what our long-term goals are. We know what Torque's is. We know what mine are. Well, me and Torque stand together on punching a god in the face.
I mean, we
It's
have
the
recently.
one thing that we can agree on, actually.
Well, it's technically two different gods, but they're both working together. So we'll do this. Listen, you hold down Umbra, and I'll punch Umbra in the face, and then I'll hold down Triskades, and you can punch Triskades in the face, and then we're good. Then we're good.
You're assuming they have faces.
I'm pretty sure Triskades probably does not have a face. Umbra likely has some sort of facial region.
Facial region.
He's got a
Punch you
food.
in the facial region.
Something we can punch, you know? Like
Punch him in the facial region.
if he doesn't have a face, we'll give him one and then punch it.
Polymorph him into something specifically that has a face. Just like
Give me that Sharpie.
For his last magical secrets, Tayland's going to take a wish, and he's going to be like, I wish Triskades had a face. So he's gonna punch it.
Well, there we go. All right, thanks for joining us, guys.
Well, there's-
Everybody.
I'm gonna punch his face in the face.
Oh, there we go.
So that's you two.
Somebody clip that.
So we're me and Torque, and I'll put my hand up on his shell, way up on the shelf. Me and Torque here, we got our things, and I'll tell you what, if you're gonna punch a god in the face, it's a good idea to have a base of operations to plan said punch.
Also, just throwing this out there, but if there's anything in that mansion that could be of use to the town as they try to rebuild, any sort of resources.
Yeah, I mean there might
And-
even be like administration documentation or something, accounting and deeds and stuff. Who knows? Hey Torque, by the way, speaking of throwing things out there, what happened to your anchor?
I've decided to let go of my past, shall we say.
You don't need to do that literally.
I thought that the gesture would be appropriate.
I mean, at least you didn't get rid of your only weapon. You got a nice new shiny one now.
He did
I have
literally
two.
drop anchors, so
Technically,
I mean,
I do
look,
still have Storm's Edge.
if you're interested in new weapons, I can show you how to use the pistol. It's quite good at hitting things from a distance. And it's
I don't mean this as an insult to you, Taylind, but I'm pretty sure that whatever Torque can swing will hit heavier than your little bullet there.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yours is magical, but
Well, that's me though.
to give Torque a pistol,
The magic comes from inside me.
the only reason to do that is if for some reason I reduce Torque's size, then give him the pistol.
I've never
Then
quite
we
been
can
one
open
for
a
firearms.
circus.
They remind me unfavorably of my previous captain.
Yeah. So, you two jokers want to punch gods. How about you, Flick?
I mean, I'm pretty easygoing, right? Want to get a couple of coins to rub together, maybe spruce up my cabin a bit here. The Flick Nest could use some extra pillows.
There is still the matter of those platinum ingots. We do still need to find a way to have those properly laundered.
Well, question for the crew then. If we clear out a nice base of operations and we're loaded, we could hire a staff be job creators. We could hire a blacksmith and then just say, hey, do this because you work for us now.
I mean,
I do think that searching this house is probably our first priority, as long as we're still in this area.
I'm inclined to agree. There's a lot of things we can do out of that if we can clear
There
it.
might also be a lot of information in the Vale family line and where they held onto their various estates and resources that we might be able to use to track down more followers of /Umbra/Triskades.
That's true.
Because like it went like far back, right? Like as far as undead racist grandpa.
Yes.
Like he was a follower too, or what was his deal?
The deal goes as far down, starting from his side, I believe, or at least as far back as him. So
What
It
you
wouldn't-
had in your conversation with Silas, he'd mentioned that his ancestors were key in the downfall of Umber's plans prior to the deluge,
yes,
and thus Umber cursed them.
yes. So, given that information, if there are maps or hidden documentations at the keep, which could detail their various points of operation, it would also give us more information, more to work with in rooting them out and slowly climbing our way up to Umbra's face to deliver the punch.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are bent on it, then I mean, stopping the end of the world sounds like a pretty
I need to
solid
learn.
gig.
I need to learn that 5th level fist spell. And call it face puncher. Taylind's face puncher. Pachow. Scanlan who?
So as
So we're going to the mansion then.
you're
yeah.
having this conversation, presumably on the deck of your ship, or
I think
just
so,
of
yeah.
your ship, a curious sight is beholden by all of you as what at first appears to be just a bird kind of flying around. Seems to kind of beat in on the ship and begins flying closer, closer, closer. And for a moment, Flick, you wonder why Paige is summoned and flying as you see a paper origami bird, very similar, but as it gets closer, you realize that it is different. There's something different about this particular creature. And it seems less a familiar, let's say, creature as more of an object of sorts. And it just seems to be animated piece of paper that's flying in the shape of a bird and is flying, and it's coming right down towards the deck of the ship at pretty good speed.
Incoming? I don't like, oh no, watch out, we've got to get hit by
Well,
a piece of paper.
The last time birds came towards us, Flick went on a murder spree.
It's true. And it was fun. Don't deny it.
until the big bird showed up.
Well,
Torque is just gonna hold out his hand and just
Are
give the bird a place to land.
Are we expecting another big bird?
well, you know, perspective's a little hard against a blue sky. Is that a really big piece of paper?
Is this like a Monty
Sorry,
Python
guys.
moment here?
So Torque, you put your hand out, and it does not come towards your hand. It flies directly at you, Donaar.
Oh,
and just kind of stops and hovers in front of you, seeming to wait.
It's time for Donaar's plot arc.
I don't know that. Okay.
I didn't know I had one either. And then I found out I was the long lost heir to the Vale family.
It's like, that's my job.
So like it's just sitting fluttering in front of me?
It seems to be waiting. It's kind of like hovering, like looking like it's waiting for a spot to land or waiting for you to
Good
accept
target
it.
practice.
Pluck it out of the air.
All right, Donaar will raise
Here,
up.
I can take care of that.
Hang
for you.
on. Don't kill it yet. Donaar
Let me
will
get so you got some fire going here.
Donaar will raise up his hand so it has something to perch on.
As soon as it lands on your hand,
I die.
the bird
Laced with poison.
kind of shifts in form, flattens out, and then immediately rolls and becomes a rolled piece of parchment in your hand.
That's handy. Why can't you do that?
Donaar will sigh a little bit. Groan, I suppose, is maybe the better word. And then he will slowly start to unfold or unravel the scroll.
On the scroll,
I feel like all three of us just slowly peer up behind his shoulder to read.
Yeah, we're all like huddled around.
on the scroll, you find the following. Petty
Oh,
Officer
jeez.
Donaar Narixius.
Oh,
You are hereby ordered to return to Stormhaven or your nearest Royal Gungrim Navy office for inquiry regarding the events aboard the Majestic Starling and for your unauthorized absence from active duty. Failure to report in will result in a formal court-martial. Prolonged absence will result in criminal charges under the Naval Accord and possible warrant for your capture. By the order of Admiral Callum Battleoar, on the 4th day of First Harvest, year 865 of the 4th Era. And
I assume
imprinted on the
that's
bottom
now.
of it is the insignia of Admiral Callum Battleoar.
Well, looks like we're pirates again, boys.
The current date is the 27th of First Harvest, so this was issued at the beginning of the month
Okay.
and has magically flown to you, it would seem, Donaar.
Ooh. Story time for Donaar. What is this? Events aboard the Majestic Starling and unauthorized absence from active duty.
Was that the ship that you were in before, Captain? The one that went under?
Yeah, that was the ship that I was aboard before I ran into you guys. I am not exactly sure how they know I'm alive. Everybody on board, as far as I could tell, perished except for me.
To be fair, Donaar, and I mean this in the best way possible, you do kind of stick out like a sore thumb everywhere we go.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Donaar,
To be
give
fair,
Usually not.
give me an insight check.
Okay. First roll, let's get those up on the screen. Oh, I guess I roll real dice. I don't need that up on the screen. Anyways. Insight, that's a 17 plus my insight of 1. 18.
As you're trying to figure out how do they know I'm alive, you recall running into
Yep.
a certain dwarven female in Porto Arias,
Yep.
with whom you had a brief exchange regarding your rank, your belonging to the Gungrim Navy, as she herself also did.
Yep.
And it kind of goes,
Sorry, Did you not report back after surviving the scuttle?
No.
Oh, well, yeah, that would explain why they're so upset.
I'm sure that our captain had his reasons for his decision. Isn't that right, Captain?
Cowardice is a reason.
Torque just kind of, Torque just kind of like, just sort of elbows Donaar, sorry, not Donaar, just sort of elbows Taylind in the ribs.
And I go flying 7 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides, the paper says he's the petty officer, not you.
Hey.
Failure to report.
Thank
will
you
result in formal court-martial. I'm not going to say that cowardice is not the reason, but it's certainly not the entire story, Taylind.
Sorry, just parsing that. Not going to say it's not. So it is the reason? Or it's not the whole reason?
Not the whole reason.
Not the whole
Yeah.
reason.
I mean, listen, D, I come from a race of people that are known for running and hiding. So, like, no judgment, right?
So what's your excuse then, Flick?
Sorry, what?
When was the last time you ran and hid anywhere?
Well, I'm kind of a cut above, but you know.
I'm of a superior class.
Well, we're a long way from Gungrim. And Donaar is going to roll up the scroll and stuff it in his vest. We have matters to attend to up here.
Sidebar, you two.
Torque will come join Taylind.
If our captain is wanted by the Navy, wouldn't that make us privateers? And then technically also be wanted by the Navy?
I will admit, being pursued by naval officers would probably not be the best for our current time frame. It sort of adds another complication to the mix.
I can control the water. I can't exactly like open a rift beneath naval ships. We ain't got the firepower to deal with something like that. Now at the same time, I'm not saying we should go all the way to Gungrim. I don't want any business of that. Captain's captain. But yeah. I'm just making sure I understand the situation.
On the other hand, if we could get Donaar's perspective to the Navy and deliver the information that we have regarding Triskades, perhaps they would be able to look past his absence and offer some sort of military power behind our goals.
That's true. Though I've never known a military to be willing to look past something.
Well,
That's fair.
I'm not real big on local geography. How far away are we talking here? Like, they're talking. Are we so far away that they're not going to bother chasing after one? And it said petty officer, deserter. Like, is it really that big a deal?
Could Torque's kind of worldly. Could he make a history check to
Absolutely.
give a guesstimate as to how far Gungrim is from here?
Certainly.
Spectacular. I rolled a 12.
It's not like it's the hidden kingdom or anything.
Yeah,
so
it would be a well-known port.
It is
One would hope so.
very well known. It is essentially the southernmost island in the Broken Isles, the southern nation. So it's like you've got Valtear at the top, where you guys are. There's the Isle of Farhaven and the sort of the inner isles, and then below that is Gungrim towards the Southern Ocean. So it's like significantly far away.
So,
This
like, just-
where you guys are right now is like way out of Gungrim Navy jurisdiction. Although they do patrol pretty much everywhere, but you're not anywhere near Gungrim at this point.
It's not like we're going to be running into these guys. And
I mean, clearly we will because he ran into somebody. I mean, well, what? They don't have jurisdiction out here, right? Like, are we talking like, you know, being a pirate in the Caribbean, or are we talking like being a pirate over past like over in Van Diem's land, right? Like, are we like basically fine as long as we don't enter their territory, or is it more of they will be? Because you have to remember, they can easily just be like, hey, we're looking to hire some buccaneers to go after this wanted person. And if I do remember, Donaar made an enemy of a powerful organization of ship.
Oh, dang it.
That indeed.
And if Gungrim finds out about that, it'll just be like, hey, we'll pay you guys money to bring this guy. They'll be like, yes. I'm just saying. We may not have the entire naval forces coming after us, not an armada, but we might be dealing with some buccaneers here and there looking to make some quick coin.
all right. So question 2.
I just don't want my nice, shiny, brand new keep to get filled full of cannonball holes.
That's fair. That's fair. So, like, spitball it for me here. Like, in terms of how far we've traveled between, like, Port of Sands and the Ivory Spire, how many of those trips would it take to get to somewhere that he could check in? Because that was like a couple of weeks, right?
Donaar, you would know that probably the closest. Well, actually, give me a history check.
Thing is, if I remember the map correctly, I have a fairly good idea of how close we've gotten so far.
Well, just as far as like you would know where their bases of operation are.
History?
Yeah.
I rolled an 18 plus my history of 8, so 26.
So you know that so the Royal Gungrim Navy, they patrol the Southern Sea, the Gungrim Sea, Inner Sea of Storms, most of the southern reaches of the Broken Isles. They do venture north occasionally, and they do have an embassy in Valenhold, which is the capital city of Valeria, which would probably be the closest to you. Another one would be Farhaven, which is kind of on the same latitude, if you would, of Porto Darius, kind of along that same line, which would be like the far southern end of the Sea of Souls. So one of those two would be the closest, and those are like you're talking weeks.
Yeah.
Of sailing. At the least.
I mean, look, if they
Maybe
can send paper birds to them, they can find them.
I mean, then again, it was also dated to the 1st of the month, and it arrived
Well, I assume they're going to give
some
a
weeks later.
set number of time for the response. Like, I mean, that would be the same in any case, right? It's like if a shipborne messenger arrived and was like, "You must come or be court-martialed," they'd be like, "All right, I guess I better get over there in whatever amount of time it's going to take." It's going to be I don't think it's reasonable for them to expect him to immediately find some way to teleport there.
Where are you guys having this conversation, by the way?
Oh,
Literally,
I like to imagine it's like
literally
literally
your
5 feet
face.
away.
Literally 5 feet away from you.
Oh,
Right in
okay.
your face.
Like Donaar as the tallest is like we're all in like a football huddle and Donaar's just looming over us.
Look, there are places that if I wanted to check in, I could, that are slightly closer than actually going to Gungrim. But from our current location, think about the trip it took us to get down to the Port of Sands, you're probably at least double that to get down to Gungrim.
Well,
it is
then-
south of the port of Puerto de Arias.
I mean, it's your call.
Yeah, like
I
how
don't
big a
know.
deal do you think this is, D?
Maybe you can write them a letter or something.
Well, look. I'm not going to give you all the details right now, because...
Of course not. It's not like we have a long ship ride ahead of us.
Look, fine. When we clear Queous, I'll sit you guys down. I'll tell you what happened.
Ooh.
It's a lot. They want to check in because I was on board the Majestic Starling. It sank. They want to know what happened to it.
That seems reasonable.
It's not
I can
it's
understand
not
why
like
a
I'm the-
Navy would want to know that.
It's not like I sank the ship. So
I don't-
I'm not a criminal.
I never thought that was the case until now.
You could have fooled me based on your conversation, but okay. But look,
We simply wanted to weigh the options, Captain. Ultimately, it is your decision to make, and we will respect that.
I understand, and I really have no interest in putting you guys in harm's way. If they were to roll up on us, I would turn myself over immediately and spare you guys any problems. In the meantime, because we have things to do, I did learn some abilities from Kamari that will allow me to communicate with this admiral, to at least verbally check in with him. I think. Craig, would I know who this admiral is, being a petty officer in the Navy? Maybe I don't know who he is?
I would say you know the name. Like, you're not like on a first name basis. Like, oh yeah, I know the admiral. He's high ranking.
Could I send him a message? Could I use sending, or would that be?
If you have if you know his name, you would know enough of a description of him.
Okay.
Sorry, I just brought up this here so you guys can see the southernmost island, the large island. That's Gungrim. You guys are way up in the top corner, and it's like way down the other end of the Isles. You're basically crossing the entire broken Isles to get
as
to
long as
Gungrim.
we never go there, in theory, we should be okay.
Not necessarily.
No.
I mean, Donaar, like your escort was heading towards Valeria.
Yeah.
Towards Easthold. So
Yeah.
that you know that they escort pretty much all over the seas. So
Yeah.
it could, yeah. But anyway. But yeah, you would know enough of Admiral Battlelord to be able to send a message, I'd say.
Okay. Taylind, Flick, Torque, keep us moving towards Queous. I'm gonna go have a friendly chat with his admiral.
Roger that, Captain.
You got it, Skipper.
Donaar
Well,
will,
not simply have a chat with an admiral, but anyway, yeah.
Donaar will make his way over to the captain's quarters and shut the door behind him.
Like,
By the way, newly edited map. Hope you guys enjoy.
it's beautiful.
Some little additions
Very
I've thrown in
nice.
there with sea monsters and the like, but yeah.
Like, you're keeping an eye on that, right?
An eye on what?
Okay. Well, anyway,
Out of game, just for chat's sake, for anybody paying attention. My mouse is hovering over where we are right now. This is Valtear. This is Queous. This is the Ivory Spire. This is where we fought the big mouth thing in the water. That's the Port of Sands. And all the
mouth
way
thing.
down there, that's Gungrim right down there. It's a little small on the map, so I just wanted to point it out for anybody watching.
Way down south.
Yeah, way down south. So we're here. Gungrim is there. We launched from Easthold, right?
Right.
So that's there, I believe. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Donaar has minor concerns about messaging the Admiral directly. Is Donaar maybe aware of the Admiral's assistant or scribe that he could perhaps send a message to?
Nah.
No? All right. Well,
Especially because you have been AWOL.
yeah,
You have no idea who's in what position,
that's true. Yeah,
where
it's been
they
a couple
are,
months. Yeah.
anything. You have the name, and you're like, oh yeah, you've never met him.
Okay. But I know enough
your
that I
rank,
could.
You would your
Yeah.
rank. You've never met him, but
Okay.
you know the name.
All right.
Okay, before you start this,
Yep.
Flick is going to sneak up to the cabin, and I'm going to slide Paige under the door,
There we go.
stealthily enough, hopefully that you don't spot me, and then I will be snooping through Paige.
Do you just unfold her so that she's a perfectly flat piece of paper, and you just
Yep. Just
So
under.
Paper
my
Mario.
question would be, Donaar, would you be expecting snooping
Um,
on your conversation?
under normal circumstances, maybe. Given the just like this dropped on my lap, I don't think Donaar would be that concerned about
Okay.
Flick snooping on him. I think
So
Donar's maybe
Flick-
sweating bullets from the thought of this conversation.
A little distracted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Flick stealth versus Donaar's passive perception. Then.
My stealth. All right.
Certain you can
I'll give
beat.
you advantage actually because he's not expecting it. Like he just said, he is distracted. So
Totally needed it there. With a 26 or 25 on the bad roll.
You
so
are
you know.
more than double my passive.
he has no clue. Yeah,
No
He's
clue.
a little distracted.
just a touch.
So I skitter back up on deck and up into the Flick nest, and I'm now in page vision. So I'm now sensing using. So I'm hearing through Page, not looking, obviously, because I want to listen in.
I like to imagine Paige just rolls up into like a cone, like a telescope shape, and then in the hole, Flick's eye just appears.
Yeah.
Just this big yellow goblin eye just staring at you from just a rolled up sheet of paper.
Actually, I'll post up with Taylind and I'll sort of narrate what I'm hearing, just so that just so we're sharing.
Okay. Now we just got to make sure that Donaar is one of those captains who's constantly talking to himself as he plans.
Well, I mean, that was always the question whenever I was watching Critical Role is sending audible to everybody, or is this a mental spell?
Just saying, you know that.
I assume
I
that.
mean, it's mental, but
Yeah.
You won't hear the
I mean-
you won't hear the response though.
No.
Yeah.
No. All right. Donaar is going
Dear
to
chief replacement.
Donaar is going to pull out a short piece of fine copper wire. He'll kind of weave that between his hands and utter his arcane words, and he will cast Sending to Admiral. Oh shoot, Admiral Callum Battlelore.
Battlelore.
That is
Really
an
hasn't gone a long
awesome
time.
seafaring dwarf name.
Thank you.
It's almost as good as Wave Singer. Almost.
Almost. All right, I'm counting myself because I'm the only one in the room.
Better, yes.
All right, so it's cast. Admiral, this is Donaar. I have received your summons. I assure you, when the time is right, I will present myself at the nearest embassy. But I'm a little busy.
He's Captain Kirking it.
Oh my god. A little busy. You just told an admiral. Yeah, I'll get there. I'm a little busy.
I've only got 25 words.
Asked it twice.
There's
I will just relay this entirely, and you may or may not hear the burst of laughter on the deck.
there's a pause, definitely an awkward pause in our where you're like, oh crap. And then you hear the response. Direct message to an admiral. Ballsy. No excuses. Report in immediately. Or face court-martial. That's it.
Given Donaar's history with the Gungrim Navy, obviously I understand earthly what a court-martial represents, but what would a court-martial represent in the Gungrim Navy?
Essentially the same thing. It's you're being summoned before a panel of it's a legal it's a legal court. Like, you're being summoned before ranking officers to determine essentially what to do with you, like basically put you on trial.
Okay.
So when I heard him finish speaking the message, I will switch divisions so I can see what his reaction is to what he hears back.
Sure.
So I can roll insight to see whether he's happy or unhappy with what he got back.
You see like the pale golden dragonborn go even more pale somehow. Just like
I don't think he was happy with the answer.
Well, I imagine initially after Donaar finished casting, he probably, like, his shoulders probably would have slumped and he would have been like, "Oh, for crying out loud. What did I just say?"
I don't think he was happy with the question either.
Upon hearing the response, I imagine, there was maybe a bit of, maybe his back goes up a little bit, like he's a little bit anxious given the response.
Now, I don't want either of you two to ever say this. This doesn't leave this room. But I have some serious respect for the captain right now.
I mean, he tried to blow off the admiral. I don't think it took.
That was glorious. Didn't think he had it in him. We're rubbing off on him, boys.
All right, Donaar, what's next?
I guess that depends on whether or not he heard the howling laughter coming from mess hall.
I think even if he did, he's probably too tunnel visioned on himself at the moment.
Just the three of us all huddled in the crow's nest going, "Oh!"
Classic meme then.
Oh, and I will recall Paige before she gets spotted as well. And
all right.
And she'll be in my hand, so I'll stroke her and then tuck her back away in my book.
In the captain's quarters, do I have a map?
Yep.
Of course you do.
So
it's the captain's quarters.
On the map that is currently up, Craig, could you just point out to the nearest embassy?
Nearest embassy would be
all the way over there.
Yeesh. So here, let me do it this way.
Oh, there's Farhaven there. Okay.
Your two embassy locations. I should have not done blue, but oh well. There and there.
Okay.
We're currently here.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We're going to Queous. Yeah, we're just
you're
there.
Currently here, and you're going. So.
Yeah, I'm not really looking to trek across the entirety of the Sea of Souls. Again.
Well, that's the other thing. We'd have to go around, right? Like, that's
basically you're heading to that would be Taylind's stomping grounds.
I don't want to go back there.
Where Taylind grew up in the
the
Wave Song Temple, etc., etc. So,
no, we're not going back there. Absolutely not.
Dealt with enough of your family issues.
Oh, well, then again, I'm a lord now. I could go back there and potentially really give that magistrate what for.
Or you wait around.
Listen, if we go there, we're getting arrested either way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Good to know.
Sorry, is that Easthold?
Easthold is that's Easthold there.
Okay.
There. Yeah.
That's where that's from.
And Craig, nobody else will understand the context of this, but where is Galadrin?
So Galadrin, Valenhold, they're the same. So Galadrin is like the common name.
Oh, okay.
Valenhold is the Valerian.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've yeah. So like Easthold is Enhold or Unhold in Valerian, and
All right.
so Galadrin is like this whole. Okay, so to get technical with lore, here we go. Lore. Yeah. This entire island is the Isle of Galadrin.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the capital city of Valeria kind of, it's like one of those things where it's like the capital city just was called like what the island was.
Right.
And now Valeria has like specified it like, no, it's Valenhold. Like we want it separated.
Okay. All right.
And the kingdom of Valeria is like that. And then there's like another kingdom here. And then there's another there. And then like this is there.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I yep. Just putting the pieces to my backstory together here. Okay.
Let me clear that over there.
All right. Donaar is going to cast one more sending. So if you want to retcon, you pulling Page out just yet, Flick?
No, I'm. You looked pretty settled, so I let you be.
I mean, you guys could probably be standing at the door at this point. And you wouldn't even notice. But anyways, yeah. Let's be honest.
We all would have definitely come closer then.
Okay. So he'll pull out his copper wire again, cast sending to the Admiral once again. Yeah, Donaar's dumb. Admiral, it's Donaar again. I don't have any way to get to an embassy right now. How long would it take you to sail Queous?
You got to think of it like
Ask
telegraphs.
the admiral to come to you at Queous.
Well, I suppose, yeah, not necessarily him, but
Thanks for telling him where you are. Oh boy.
look
I mean,
at
yep, he did. He did just do that.
We're gonna like finish exploring this mansion and then step outside, and then just on the horizon is just gonna be like 20 warships.
Yeah, I'm like, oh crap.
Knock knock. It's the United States.
Come back with a warrant.
This guy, right?
Oh, I should have
So
said,
now
but I
the
can
Donaar
be
you're
picked
looking
up
for.
at Queous.
Okay.
That's what I should have said. Oh well.
What?
You get no response.
Oh,
Donaar.
picking up. Okay,
Yeah.
that would have been a little better way to phrase
Yeah.
that.
Donaar, you get no response.
Have no
Uh-oh.
transportation. Please pick me up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the collect
Hey, you-
call.
Can you call me an Uber?
Uber now is just in this world. It'll be called something else though. Oh
No response.
Mm-hmm.
That's
All right,
probably
well-
better than a response, actually.
That's hard to say. Okay, well, Donaar will probably take a few moments to collect himself. And then he will rejoin where he thinks the others are up on deck.
Oh, I'm back in the crows. I'm steadfastly scouting ahead and ignoring the hell out of you arriving on deck.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't see nothing. What? So, what is the plan?
Yes.
Still ahead.
I
Yes.
mean, 3 of us have a very nice plan. 1 of us has a stupid plan.
All right.
What were those naval combat rules?
Your brain.
It's just good business.
That will bring us to the Sea of Souls map. All right, as you head out from Valtear, you have a few options as to how you approach Queous. You can sort of sail straight, kind of through the Sfuna's Rim, or you can sort of rim the Northern Islands, or head sort of make it, beeline sort of for the southern tip of the archipelago here, and then
Do we have any
sail up and around.
do we have any naval knowledge of like currents or shipping routes or anything that might help us dictate that decision?
So what you would know, and even just having spent time in Valtear, Torque would be fairly familiar with this area as well. There's no trade routes in Sfuna's Rim. There's people like trade ships don't go up here. It's most of the islands are wild, uninhabited or unexplored, very isolated, which is how Torque found himself marooned in the first place. So there's not really any kind of set routes, known routes to go by. What is known is that, like near Valtear itself, the waters around many of the islands are very rocky, a lot of shallows, a lot of reefs. Sfuna's Rim is incredibly deep. It is known to be extensively deep, well into the Midnight Zone and possibly deeper.
We also have Sunken Temple here, Lighthouse here,
Yeah.
and our choice is basically up,
Sunken
down.
Temple is more
Is it on?
everything.
Yeah, it's on that island.
It's more like, oh, sorry. Here, you know what? I can pin it for you. How do I do that?
I'll get rid of my scribbles.
Sunken Temple is here-ish.
Oh, I suppose that's a good point. We could,
The lighthouse is down in this area.
so we can pick one of those and take a stop at one of them on the way if we go around the islands, which I feel like, though, that safe navigation wise, going straight through is probably better because you're not going around a bunch of shoals and shallows and rocks.
Assuming this isn't like the Sea of Souls where going straight across is known to be bad, then
It's not Desfuna's Triangle, right?
Oh, it's Torque's now.
It's Torque's Triangle. That's right.
If I could guarantee safe passage, I would.
Why don't you try?
Unfortunately,
Sorry,
I think
let me try. O great Torque, we give unto thee to allow us safe passage among the waves,
This
and
feels
pray
patronizing
that
somehow.
we do not
Somehow.
have our bones rest upon the bottom of the sea floor.
Now,
All right.
Torque,
Whoa, wait, hey, hang on. Taylind, something's happening. I could feel it. I could feel her power. Nope. Nope, just indigestion.
Torque, you have a little bit more knowledge pertaining to one of these locations and routes.
This is true. Which one was it specifically again? Like on the map? Ah, yes.
And I'd say, given your with your loggerhead pirates, or your pirates, like you guys had sailed around this area quite a bit, so you'd be the most familiar with. You didn't necessarily you weren't like the navigator scouting everything, but you'd be a little bit more familiar with these waters.
As it happens, Captain, my previous crew used to frequent this area. It made for a convenient smuggling route, among other things. If you would allow me to navigate, I think I can chart us a course.
That works for me.
Are we going around or through? Like, do we want to stop at the temple or the lighthouse?
Well, I think Torque's route will take us to the lighthouse, if I understood the clicks right. Right? You're more familiar with
Alrighty.
Southern Pass? Yeah.
We are stopping there.
At least doing a
It could
drive-by.
be, I guess it would be nostalgic to an extent, but depends on what sort of timetable we're on at the moment, Captain. How did your correspondence go? Was there an implied due date to your arrival?
I mean, yes. How did it go?
We have time. We need to get to Queous.
All right. I'll go speak to the rest of the crew just so they're aware of the route we're taking. And
So you're looking to go
lumber
straight
on
ahead.
upstairs.
Okay. Are you going to the lighthouse or are you going to Queous? Sorry.
We'll go to the lighthouse on our way up to Queous. So we'll take the southern isles to go up.
If I
Sort of
may.
like
I know just how
Something like kind of
strange
one of
this
those.
strange lighthouse
okay.
is.
Yeah.
sure. Okay. So, Torque, since you are the one that is navigating or plotting the course, please give me a survival check.
You got it. Ooh,
Hey.
that's a 25.
25.
Nice.
All right. So you're fairly confident with favorable seas and good tailwind, or at least no headwind, that you're probably looking at about 2.5 days from Valtear to the lighthouse, and then from the lighthouse to Queous, probably just under 2 days
I will
from that point as well. Again, that's all with good weather. So about 4 to 5 days sailing in total.
I will relay this information to these three and then also to the rest of the crew, just so they all sort of know what to prepare for.
All right. Any preparations to be made before we set sail?
Well, the last time we sailed this area, we were getting chased by the Black Tide. Coming out of the Sea of Souls. So I think just understanding that the Black Tide is gone, or at least retreated, I think Donaar still wants to have the guns all loaded. Ready to fire at a moment's notice.
Okay.
Do we have whiskey?
Yes.
Do we have port?
And starboard.
Yeah.
Rye. We got enough rye?
You've got booze.
We got cider, rum, scotch, wine, beer, brandy, sherry, mead, stout,
Hey, Taylind.
vermouth, gin,
Taylind.
vodka,
Brandy
bourbon.
and Sherry stayed behind. They weren't interested in
Taylind, do me a favor.
following.
Yes.
Go down and check the hold and see what we have and report back to me.
Well, I think we're running low on cognac.
Well, why don't you go find out?
Okay, but you got to make sure if we're out of any of that, we got to put an order in. Also, I'm pretty sure I had the last of the absinthe.
Also remember that Valtear, you're not going to find
Oh, we're not getting it from
goods
Valtear.
right now. So
No, we're not getting
Anyway.
it from Valtear.
So what you're saying is that the absinthe is absent.
Yes.
Absinthe.
I can always we can always replace it
absinthe
with
and
Sambuca.
absentia.
And in a pinch, we could use green toad.
All right. In that case,
We'll set sail.
set sail.
Weigh anchor.
Oh, it's been way too long. I'm finally up in the flick nest to give Lefty's knucklebone a little kiss as we're sort of weighing anchor. The sails pick up the wind.
Do they? Is there
So-
wind?
I hope.
Who?
Orc is just sort of
We raise the anchor. We set the sails. And slowly
There's no wind. Yeah.
glide.
Who would like to roll our first D100 for day one of our journey?
I guess since
Donaar.
I'm navigating, I could. Oh, or Donaar could. Either
Or
one.
torque.
I think torque for this first one.
Okie dokie.
Got no spot for
Okay.
it.
This could be 68. One off from the funny number.
The funny number.
Well, a funny number. There's a few.
That's true.
All right. So as you set sail, your first day, heading out away from the island of Tyr, even from your brief voyage in, and then you did spend some time kind of in the shallows around. The one thing that you notice as you sail out, which makes sense given the sort of state of the dock or what's left of it, the sea level does seem to have risen, and some smaller islands here and there, things look a little bit different. Flick, I'm assuming that you are in your usual perch.
Yep.
Go ahead and give me a perception check, please, then.
So, here we go. There's a solid 7.
Okay. Because of the change in water level, amongst other things, Flick, you find yourself a little bit distracted on lookout. Now, you do spot the hazard, but not early enough to fully avoid the mast sticking out of the water directly ahead of the ship.
Oh.
And you see it as you're catching, full 2 miles an hour here,
Yep.
super
but
fast
still-
for your ship, which is fast for hosting the ship. And you look down, and there's a mast
Oh,
of a wrecked
son
ship
of a. I'll
sticking
call down hard
right up
port.
out of the water.
Yep.
This is Sherry.
No, turn the damn wheel.
Oh.
So Donaar, are you at the helm?
I imagine since Taylind is down below assessing our booze situation, that Donaar, at least for this first day, Donaar would probably be on the helm. He needs something to get his mind off of what just happened.
Donaar, please give me a water vehicles.
I'm good at these guys.
Roll.
Water vehicles. That's an 11, but I have a +8, so that's a 19.
19. Okay. Which way are you going? Port or starboard?
We're gonna turn. Port would be left, or port would be right.
No, port is right.
Port is right.
Starboard. No, port is left. Sorry, port
is left.
Port is
Okay.
left. Port is left.
Hoist
Port
up
is
the
left.
thing, batten down
Starboard
the
is
what's
right.
it?
Yeah.
What's that thing spinning? Somebody should
Port is left because they both have 4 letters. That's how.
turn hard to port. That's not port. Now I've got it.
Okay, so you're going.
we will turn port. Yeah, we will turn port because that technically, if I'm looking at the map, kind of looks like it points more towards open sea.
All right, cool. So you crank on the wheel at the helm, and the whole ship just kind of turns into it. That was an 8. Sorry, 18 you got or 19?
It was a 19 because it was an 11 plus 8.
19. Okay.
19.
All right. So as you manage to put all of your not, I mean, you're not like a strength-based character, but you're solid frame. You got a good hand on the wheel. You put everything you've got into it, ordering the crew at the same time to, drop the mainsails and do the thingies with the stuff. And you just like, there's that moment where you're kind of holding your breath and you do hear a bit of a, as you just catch that. Thankfully, you don't run. The keel doesn't run right into that wreck, but you do watch that mass that's taking out just and kind of break. Thankfully, because of the damage resistance threshold of your ship's hull, which has been reinforced with a little bit of magique, you do not take any damage. But the crew's morale is not lessened, but a little bit. They're like, it's been a while, I guess. So,
yeah.
But you managed to avoid disaster. Close up to this ship, as you look down, you can see that this is a really old ship. It's weird that such an aged shipwreck would have seemed to be so close to the surface in this spot. It's a little bit unusual,
Especially with the water level having raised.
Indeed. Catches kind of like that was weird. But you avert disaster. The rest of the first day continues without much ado. No more excitement other than what you create amongst yourselves. So
There is a lot of that, however.
there's a lot of that. All right.
Did somebody say lowered morale?
So that was my next question. During ship downtime or off duty, is there anything that anybody would like to take care of or do?
I think the Torque is probably going to check in with, with like our NPC crewmates, our jobbers. He's going to check in with
Jobbers. Employees.
Dana, Salty Grand, Rumrat,
Yeah, and Kissick,
and Kissick. Yeah.
Can't forget Kissick.
our number one rat catcher.
And
Soon to be Mannerly State Butler.
are the Ivory Spire wizards, maybe I missed this, are they still with us?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Kadana, Kissick, Salty Rumrat. I feel like I'm forgetting one.
Well, you did have Serena as part of the crew, but she's no longer.
Okay, so it is just the 4.
She's no longer along with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Torque will just touch base with all of them, just like, even though his previous experience as quartermaster was probably not as cordial, he does still kind of like feel like it's partially his duty to just like see that the crew's needs are being met.
Okay. Sure. They appreciate it. Go ahead and give me if you're just kind of chatting them up, so you could give me a persuasion check here, unless there's something else, another approach that you would.
I mean, would insight work?
Like to go
'Cause
with.
I'm not trying to like convince them to work harder or anything. I'm just kind of trying to like get some. I'm just trying to get some insight, basically, into just sort of like what the.
Hey, if we manage to get all the way to Queous and the day sooner, we can have a pizza party.
Insight makes sense. You're trying to read them. Gonna see.
We cannot afford to pay you more, but
we can though.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and insight then. That's true.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Okay. You're a little preoccupied. You do your best, kind of talking to them, and being, stay at it, keep the work.
I mean, I feel like the fact that like being a hermit for 10 years, on top of the fact that like his previous crew wasn't exactly one for like pleasantries or anything means like Torque is very socially stunted. Which is part of the reason why he talks with such like an inflated vocabulary, is that like he kind of does what I do, in that he like uses a lot of big words, like not to sound smart or superior, but just like the more syllables you put into a sentence, the more you can kind of stall out what you're saying. Like he tries to lengthen like everything he says to give him more time to think about how he's trying to communicate.
Yeah, totally. Okay. I'd say very basic. You can tell that they appreciate the effort. You don't gain much insight into sort of their current mood other than tense. There is an anxiousness and a general tense feeling of, what you just went through and, sort of what's lying ahead. There's a little bit of the unknown, but there's also a narrative of excitement as well. They're happy to be back out at sea. Other than those sort of base level readings, you don't really get much more than that. They kind of stay busy. Don't engage too much in small talk.
Did somebody say bard?
Literally nobody, but
I've noticed that your morale is low. Listen to this music and I can make it even lower. If Torque has the time, he'll kind of pull Donaar aside and be like, Captain, if you have a moment, there's something I'd like to discuss.
Sure, Torque.
Now, as you know, we are currently fairly well off in terms of money.
That we are.
I think that with our recent windfall, there are a few changes that we can make to the ship in order to potentially raise the baseline level of morale for our crew.
All right, what did you have in mind?
Well, for starters, I noticed that we've been mostly eating hardtack and dried preserves for our rations, which, when you're away at sea this long, can get somewhat repetitive. I think it would be within our best interest if we hired a full-time cook for our crew.
Yeah, we certainly have the ability to do that now. We'll have to see where we can find one, but yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Additionally, I think that we should probably have a designated boatswain as well. Currently,
that's pronounced bosun.
Yes,
you're not there.
This is
a bosun.
This is Devin the ship.
No, bosun was just the slang
interjecting.
term. And, okay, let's retcon because Torque would know that.
Boatswain is pronounced bosun.
Stupid English language.
Blend the birds.
So Torque would know that even if Jack
Correct.
does not. So
Correct.
we'll watch it out.
It's true. Yeah.
We should also probably look into having a designated bosun as well. At the moment, ship repairs are being outsourced to the crew at large, which for most of them is outside of their job description and in some cases outside of their level of expertise. I think that hiring one of those on as well would also help to lighten their collective load.
That's fair.
Yep. I know it'll probably be a few days at least before we're in a position where we can do any other hiring, but I think this is something to keep in the back of our mind.
I would agree. These are good ideas. If there's anything else you can think of that would boost morale, let me know.
I will keep you notified, Captain.
Okay. While that's going on, Devin, you wanted to inspire the crew? Is that what's?
I'd like to inspire the crew, and Taylind was also thinking of, now that he's a lord, it would be, it would be befitting to have, a far improved hammock. So he's been looking into jazzing up his living arrangements, but also perhaps something that might improve the crew's overall morale is to set up a bar within the ship's galley. Obviously, we'd have to assume that the captain is fine with the crew drinking while on off hours during the 4-hour period, which would normally be unallowed, but our captain's a big old softy pushover, so I don't think that'll be a problem.
So, the first question then is, would Donaar be for this, or at least influenceable towards this?
That's assuming he finds out about it.
You're going to build it in secret?
Better to ask for forgiveness than permission is what's
Oh, yeah. What I'm saying is I'm doing it without checking in first, and then when he stumbled upon it halfway.
Building the first on-ship speakeasy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a lord. I'll do what I damn well please.
All right. Well, since you were trying to do this underhandedly, and
it's not necessarily that I'm doing it underhandedly. It's just
it is, but it is. So versus the captain finding out about it, I'm going to call this deception because it's trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah. It's for the crew's morale. It's for the good of the ship.
So what? If this would actually play in, what I was going to say Donaar is doing during this downtime is probably just hanging out in his captain's quarters. And for anybody paying attention, Donaar has left his lizard up on deck and then just gone into his captain's quarters. So
I was counting on that.
I kind of think that maybe Donaar is a little bit distracted, so this might actually be the right time for Taylind to get away with something like that.
In that case,
I'm happy to roll with like a disadvantage or to give him advantage.
We also have a gambling ring.
Well, I will do the same thing with Flex. We'll go versus your passive perception here.
Okay.
There's only 4 crew. How big a ring is that going to be?
You'd be surprised. So give me a deception. This is a...
Listen,
it's not a direct you speaking to him, but it's trying to hide things behind him. So.
If we're not going to pay them more, we can at least let them earn money in a gambling arrangement. How about a nat 20 for a 28?
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That would do it, wouldn't it?
At any point, Donaar, during the first day, or at the end of the first day, would you go down into the hold? Would you leave the captain's quarters and proceed into the lower decks of the ship?
Truthfully, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have no idea.
Yeah. Donaar is very preoccupied with the whole Gungrim admiral.
I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Very
In
understandable.
that case, Taylind, go ahead and give me either a performance or persuasion with advantage for the crew.
Ooh. I'm going with performance. 24.
24. You increase the crew's morale, which I'm calling quality, by a score of 2. And it's currently at a score of 5. So it is considered to be good. The crew is of good quality at the moment. So feeling they're not like, this is the best thing ever. We're gonna destroy everything. We're gonna beat it.
They're not,
but
they're not like miserable anymore.
Yeah, they're content. little.
Come
above
me
content,
boys
I'd say,
and
so.
come me boys and heave with me. Let's get off this cursed sea.
All right. And the last question to add into that: are you using your personal funding for this, or are you taking directly from the amassed funds?
Hey, does everyone know why there's 1,000 gold missing from our balance?
I wouldn't say quite 1,000, but I'd say to set up a bar down there, you're probably looking about 100 gold total for the bribes, for to keep it secret, to like.
I will dip
get
it into
the
my
booze
own.
flow in.
I'll dip into my own pocket. I got 158 to spare. I'll throw 100 at that. That's
There you
fine.
go.
How do you even build like a secret bar on a ship anyway? Do you just go down and like the actual bar counter like flips out of the wall like a Murphy bed?
Yes.
What I'm picturing is like crates, where like the crate tops like come off, and then it's like you've got like things just like sitting inside there, and it's like they slide back. Like here you go. Yeah, but
Someone shouts, "Captain's coming downstairs." Everyone starts frantically moving boxes.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
just disassemble the entire bar.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we
All
stuck
right.
and grabbed a barrel, broke the seal and took a swig. And soon their screams turned into songs, their panicked were to jigs. The first mate bellowed orders, ever trying to save their skin. Any drunken wretch the captain catch, he'll beat from limb to limb. Oh, what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor?
What shall we do with the sober Taylind? That's never going to happen.
Oh, you don't want to see that. Well, we did see that momentarily
We did.
when we went to Joran's tower, and it was very uncomfortable.
It's true. All right. During the night watch, Salty Gren is going to take watch. So I'm going to roll a perception for him for the watch. All right. 4 bells and all's well. The morning of the second day approaches. You all wake. Some of the crew a little bit sloggier than others. They managed to kind of hide it though. And the second day of your journey is before you. Who would like to roll this time?
I'm gonna say Flick.
All right.
All right.
D100.
D100, Master Flick.
That's a 73 boy.
A 73.
Also a hilarious number, but for different reasons.
So, even before you weigh anchor and you have started setting sail. You're maybe about like an hour into the day, not too long after dawn, and due south. So, would be to port. Something kind of catches your eye in the distance, Flick. So go ahead and give me a perception check, please.
What do my goblin eyes see? Perception says 11. That's better than the 7, but not great.
Yeah, I hear. What's your passive perception?
It'd be 15.
Okay. So you're a little bit distracted, but it takes you a good half an hour of kind of you're looking and trying to figure out what it is that you see, because it's not.
Is that a thing? What kind of thing is it? Yeah.
Is it a cloud? Is it just? Is it, is that land way out in the distance? And then it hits you. It is clouds of a sort
Mhm.
moving against the wind. And this foggy cluster looks frighteningly familiar.
Hey, unrelated. Has anybody seen Nope?
Nope.
Has anyone
No.
seen the Jordan Peele
Nope.
film Nope?
Nope.
Okay, good. So this will be brand new for all of us then.
Last time we hit this, there was spooky faces in the clouds, and everyone got a visit from their past. Is that my recollection?
Last time you saw this, a particular ship came sailing out of it.
Ooh.
Is this
Hey, Skipper, I think we got a thing. There's definitely a thing off the port side here.
Do we all recognize it as Flick does?
I would hope so.
Once it is pointed out to you, you most certainly recognize the telltale fog that announces the coming of the Asuna.
Hey, Captain,
Yeah.
if I can make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Turn the ship around, me boys, turn around and run. That stormer wants a battle, and it's sure that we're outgunned. But of the ship that's out there, do we leave her to the gale? She's called the Dread Asuna, and it's rage that fills her sails.
So
He said,
we're seeing the clouds and the Asuna coming from the Sea of Souls, right? Out this side?
Correct. Well, here, let me just
Just
throw
go
it on the
ahead
map for you.
and,
Why don't I?
throw it there. Just put her right here, nice and snug.
And just for my recollection, this is the ghost ship that downed Captain Boone's ship.
Among others, yes.
But that was our last run in with it. Was it took over and scuttled our
This, no. So that would have been that was the a corrupted ship of the Red Hand.
We have not actually
right.
faced the Dread Asuna.
The Asuna
Oh, right.
chased you from
Yeah.
Evanport to Tyr.
Yeah, we ran from it because we're smart.
You, on your way from Evanport, once you'd fled Evanport and were heading towards Tyr,
right.
the Asuna chased you, and once you entered into Asuna's rim, it seemed to have given off. It does not seem to be so held at bay this time.
Oh crap. Yeah,
As in
the Suna's gone.
Uh-oh.
What do you do with the ship Asuna? What do you do with the ship Asuna?
I already said.
True.
Well, do
should
you
I get out and push? Like,
I was gonna say, do you mean go back to Valtear?
No, let's get this tub moving away from that thing. I think that's what he means.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking. So Donaar will go hard to the starboard and take us into the middle of Despuna's rim.
Wow!
We'll go straight north, just directly away from it.
All right. Let the chase begin.
Let him work for it.
Torque, we might need you
So-
below decks again.
I'm on it, Captain, as Torque will go down and prepare to man the oars.
Since you were going full speed ahead, I'm gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll me a d6, please.
Me?
Yes,
Okay. D6.
Captain Donaar.
That's a 5.
5, so multiply that by 5.
25.
You're adding 25 to your speed for the turn, which is going to be... Yeah, so we'll just average it out and say that your miles per hour speed at the moment has increased from 2 to 3, which is significant.
Mm-hmm.
So your current speed is 3 miles per hour. Okay. So you turn and begin to just head north as much as you can.
Yep.
So each one of these hexes represents about a 10 to 12 mile. So kind of like a half day's, like a six hour journey basically, which is why you can do 2 of them in kind of a full day. As soon as you indicate, kind of make it, that show that you're turning to flee, flick from the crow's nest, you see the fog dissipate, and the Asuna kind of materializes, along with 2 other ships beside it.
Oh, what the hell?
And their sails just fully unfurl. And there's 3 of them just start sailing, gaining on you incredibly fast. Give me another perception check, please, Fleck. This is separate from the original one you made.
Perception check. All right. Perception. Nope.
Oh,
Passing 15.
All right. Are you preparing any defensive maneuvers at all as a ship, or are you just like everything to the wind? Do you want cannons? Do you want? What's your plan?
I think we'll be getting cannons. Well, cannons will be loaded.
We
Okay.
don't stand a chance.
No, we have to run.
Yeah.
With
absolutely.
that in
Torque-
mind, especially seeing. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
I was just saying that Torque is like fully on the oars at this point. As soon as Flick announces that,
Yeah, with that announcement as well, I think Donaar is gonna, wherever Kamari is, he'll use message and.
What's the
Call her
wind
up.
like right now?
The winds. So when you were heading west, you did have a bit of a tailwind. So you're going to be turning out of the tailwinds, but it's not a headwind. Like it's like a, what do you call that? Sidewind.
So- so
a
if I
jib wind
were-
or whatever it is.
If I were to something like that, if I were to gust of wind the sails now, that would be preferable.
Mm-hmm. You could do that.
Captain,
Yeah,
gust of wind on the sails.
please.
Your wizardly compatriots will also add some magical speed.
Yeah, anybody who's got any kind of water or air, let's do this. The thunder growled like demons and the lightning stabbed the waves, and the Asuna she leapt towards us, riding fury from the graves. Our captain, he stayed at the wheel, the crew, they manned the lines, but still that ship and storm were closing quickly in behind.
What is your destination in mind? Where exactly are you heading for?
Away.
My initial thought was we'll break away from the Southern Isles and go to the Northern Isles, but continue our course to Queous. But
Okay.
I mean, at this point, I think we just flee and deal with it later.
yeah.
yeah, so maybe.
I mean,
so
it's a ghost ship, right? So like, if we make landfall, they'll presumably stop chasing us there.
So, I mean, I know this is a map, but is it possible? Let me draw a line here, freehand. Is it possible to do something like this?
You have no
Sorry,
idea
kinda-
because you do not know the shallows in theory, but you kind of have to see as you got there.
Not that Torque is in a position to really weigh in, but would he have knowledge of that?
I mean, you know that like they're the islands. There's spaces that are wide enough, but it's the question of wind. It's the question of shallows. It's the question of those sorts of things as to whether you're going to run yourself aground. You're going to scrape up on the coral. In theory, is it possible? Yes. Is it difficult? Yeah. These are, for more or less, these are uncharted waters.
Mm.
As far as like depths and all that stuff, depth charts. There really aren't any depth charts to go by.
All right. Donaar knows that there is broken up isles up north. Counting on the fact that we can lose them in the isle. So Torque is under deck, probably can't help us out with the navigation. So Donaar is going to point us directly north and try to chicane around the the isles.
Okay. I need you to give me a water vehicles check.
Yeah.
You're going to add to this your cruise quality right now, which is 5.
Hey.
You're welcome.
Hey, so this is usually a +8. This is now going to be +13.
Correct.
So even if I roll crap, which I didn't, so that's a 12 plus 13 for 25. Right? Yep, 25.
Okay. All right. So you sail hard, and as you know, this isn't an imminent 20 minutes they're on you. Like you're talking hours of sailing here. You sail for about 6 hours, and they're slowly gaining at first. And as you put some magic into the sails, and just put everything you've got into it here, you manage to you see that distance start to increase ever so slightly. They're keeping pace with you, but they're not catching up for that first 6-hour leg. Second leg of the day, second half of the day. Are we assuming at this point that all of you are going full speed at this? Like you're all putting everything you got into it?
Torque definitely will be. I imagine that the non-magical crew aboard, that those that cannot help Taylind with the sails will probably be below deck rowing with Torque as well.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
But Torque is definitely giving it his all.
Okay.
It's like 3 people to an oar except Torque, who's just got one by himself.
All right. So I need each of you to make a Constitution saving throw for yourselves.
Oh boy.
And one of you will need to make a Constitution saving throw for the crew,
Okay.
which we can do
Yeah,
afterwards.
Perhaps Torque should do the crew.
I was going to say, so Torque got a 17 for himself.
Okay. So we'll do all 4 of you first.
Okay.
Oh.
10.
I got a 10.
Okay.
20. Dirty 20.
I rolled a 4. I have a 4 on my Constitution, so 8, and I'll use Arcane Deflection. Oh wait, that's not an attack. No, I'm failing a saving throw, I'm assuming. I'm gonna add 4, so 12.
Okay. All right. So it is just a base 10 on this for exhaustion. So the 4 of you all succeed on your not getting exhausted.
Hooray!
I'll roll one for the crew now.
So it's going to be a d20 plus 5.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Okay, 23 for the crew. They're really
Damn, our crew's on fire.
Okay, so
they're making time and a half today.
the crew is into it. They're feeling good. They're feeling good. They understand.
Our ship, we crest a giant
But it's
wave
like-
and
There's a lot of
crashed the trough
adrenaline.
below.
Get out of here.
The crew held on to what they could. They were damned if they let go.
All right. So no change to quality, which is good. No exhaustion, which is good. If you are still at the helm, Donaar, then I will get you to give me another water vehicles check, adding the quality, crew quality of 5 to this again.
Okay, plus 13.
What can I say except
That was
you're welcome?
almost a 1, but instead it's a 15.
That's
plus
much better.
13 for 18. 28.
That was a math right there.
Yep. I knew it was 8, but I got the 1 part wrong.
That's the important part.
Yep. 28. 28.
Well, that line is no longer valid. Okay. So you managed to keep just ahead of them into the later half of the day. You can clearly see the 3 ships. They are gaining, but not significantly. They're still kind of at pace, but they've probably closed within. What do you got? Is it? It's not meters at sea. Yards, I guess.
Leagues?
I
Nautical
don't know what it
miles?
is. They've closed a few
nautical
hundred
miles,
yards,
yeah.
probably. A few hundred yards, which significant, but not they're not on you.
Not quite cannon range yet.
Yeah, exactly. And Flick will get you to give me another perception check as you are watching the pursuit, please.
And over the course of the day, I will have been ritual casting Unseen Servant to be like providing, water and service to the rowers and things like that. Just so I'm doing something. Because really,
Good. Okay. Yes, that is excellent.
Right.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Perception. Here we go. Oh, there's a
Oh
one.
wow.
Ugh.
So, my perception checks have been really good tonight. A 6, a 4, and now a 1. So,
Okay.
so past perception of 15.
Now, the good thing is that you have incredible ears.
Mm.
So this doesn't catch you entirely off guard, but you don't see it until the last minute. You know that these ships are not within cannon range. They're not within firing range at all. And you hear it. You don't register what it is at first because you don't see it. But you kind of hear like a... And the last minute, you're kind of distracted. You look and you see what appears to be a ghostly cannonball flying right for the ship. And it's
And it
about
goes right through.
it's
the
probably
ship because
about
it's
600 feet away.
intangible.
Brace for impact!
So you all hear this out of nowhere. You hear Flick yell down, brace for impact. Any of you turning to be able to see who are above deck, you see what does appear to be a semi-translucent ethereal cannonball. That is just like it's got this crazy impossible arc and just heading towards the ship. And Donaar, it almost seems like it's seeking you out, like it's coming right. You turn around at the helm and you see it coming right at you.
What? Well, I mean, I'm assuming I have mere moments, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we have a moment to react? Like, what is...
You can, if you want to try something, let me know.
Well, am I still casting Gust of Wind? That
I would assume
won't
so.
work. It's a ghostly cannonball. Wind ain't gonna do anything to it.
I mean, aside from moving out of the way, Donaar will...
Well, you could like Misty Step or Dimension Door or something.
I could. My concern is that if it takes out the helm, then that we can't steer.
So, the problem is, and Craig, you stop me if this is outside of our realm of like time to think. We don't know what would affect a ghostly cannonball. We can assume
Yeah, I'd say you
that
have no idea, probably.
Yeah, we can assume that it would affect us, but like, can we ice it to slow it down? Can we shatter it? Can we, like what? We don't know what's going to work or what is like.
Go ahead and give me your Arcana check.
Okay, is the Gust of Wind gonna?
Taylind looks and sees this, and you're like, ghostly cannonball. What can I do?
15.
You're not even really sure. Like, is it material? Is it immaterial? Something of destructive nature it might work. You really don't know though. It's outside. You just.
We're pretty sure that wind would not work because it's.
I'd say yeah. It's defying wind.
The
even
ship,
as you speak.
the wind doesn't. Yeah, exactly. Like it's not. There's no drag on a ghostly cannonball. So the question is just if we can use force to do something with it.
Well, I think Donaar will attempt magical force. And he will look up at this ghostly thing, and just at a 3rd level, Donaar will throw 4 magic missiles at this cannonball, this ghostly cannonball.
So my question is whether or not it counts as an object.
It's an object.
Okay.
Now,
It ain't a person, a creature. I mean, but yeah. it's an
Well,
object.
yeah, but I don't. It's also kind of like a weird
yeah,
ghost.
It is, but it's an object for.
Okay.
all
So,
intents and purposes, yeah.
am I able to cast magic missile against an object though? Because I'm just reading my spell. The
Go for
target
it.
is a creature of your choice that you can see within range.
I'm fine with you casting magic missile against this.
All right. So this is 4 darts plus 4. That is a 4, another 4, 8, and then 2 3s, so 6. So 14 plus 4, 8, 18 force damage.
Okay. You turn, and as you see this thing coming last minute, you just fire off a number of magic missiles at it. Each one slamming and connecting with this, and you see it kind of waver a couple of times. Doesn't seem to be slowed down, but it seems to kind of break up a little bit. It gets about 100 feet from the ship, and suddenly just explodes into this vaporous mist that turns into the shape of a flag.
Oh.
Interesting.
A flag that
okay.
both, I would say, Torque, having extensive experience on the seas, and Donaar would recognize this as a flag of Parlay.
Well, Torque is below deck, so he's not going to recognize
That's true, Torque.
nothing.
But Donaar, this is a flag indicating Parlay.
Are we going to negotiate with the ghosts?
That's up to Donaar because he's the only one who even knows what that flag means.
Okay.
It does no damage. It didn't impact the ship.
It's literally one of those Looney Tunes guns with the fold out messages.
I didn't get inspiration from that at all. Shut up.
Okay. Just lore-wise, so the ghost ship Asuna is legendary for just wiping out anything it faces on the seas, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it is called a ghost ship because
I mean,
it is ghostly.
it's a
It has
ship that is
ghosts
ghostly.
on it. I mean, I suppose
Anybody
we wouldn't
who's gotten
know.
close enough
has
not
died.
Basically, you see it and it's like, oh. And if you see it closer, oh. But it's a ghost ship because it just appears out of nowhere and disappears in a fog. It defies physics like wind. It doesn't obey any of the laws of the sea.
Donaar's gonna call out to Kamari. Kamari. That symbol means parlay.
Oh?
They want us to stop to negotiate.
That is strange, yeah.
Have you ever heard of this happening?
No. I can't say that I ever have. It's... The Asuna just hunts ships to kill them. Can we outrun it, Captain?
Maybe, but we run the risk of seriously damaging, if not entirely destroying our ship going through these aisles. We don't know how shallow, how deep, rocks, other ships.
So we take our chances with the shallows or a ghost ship that wants to parlay. Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not a trap.
Flick.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Captain, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I'm a researcher.
That's...
I
I thought maybe you might have some information.
So
Flick.
you just kind of freeze, like in like thought, like her brain is just like overheating. Like, oh crap.
Flick up in the flick nest.
Yeah.
Flick, the Asuna wants to parlay.
Oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea, Skipper.
I'm of the mind to agree with you. I just wasn't expecting this. This is very unorthodox. Is not strong enough a word for how strange this is.
Hey, I just learned a new thing. Can you give me a couple minutes here? I'm gonna consult the bones.
Sure.
All right.
Consult the bones.
If we've got time to ritual
Yep, we're
cast,
still there.
I will cast augury.
I'd say you got 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, you're.
So I will.
This
So
isn't,
I
you
have
know,
spent time engraving Shorty's thigh bone and cutting it up into smaller pieces.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm
So
casting
Shorty's thigh
these-
bone is even shorter now.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So and yes, again, Lefty's knuckle bone is always sort of it's on a string around my neck, and basically it's I got Shorty's thigh bone, like cast the bones, and then check with the knuckle bone. And what do the bones tell me? So the question I'm asking is parlay a good idea?
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
That's interesting.
I'll put it in the chat.
I mean, we all know that augury only ever ends up in one result.
Wheel or woe?
Wheel and woe.
Yeah, son of a.
We know and whoa.
That the fact that that's an option is such a freaking cop out.
I know, it really is.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, I guess it kind of like it's a safety net because if you ask something that would require the DM to be able to see into the future to answer definitively.
well, no,
you
it's
know?
it's using the DM knowledge of like, if we attack these bandits, wheel or woe. It's like, well, there's the chance for you to die, but you'll also progress the plot, right? Like it's like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I find that giving context helps a lot. Like when you cast augury, if you give context for what exactly you're trying to discern, that helps.
Yeah, I think that's actually where I was gonna go with that. Is there like anything specific outcome that you're thinking you'd like?
Basically, are we going to walk away from a negotiation, or is it a death trap?
I'm consulting.
Hmm.
What do you think? Should they do it?
I
Lips
suppose
as a prayer to dog.
I wasn't thinking about the fact that this could just be the ghost ship's trap plan that it always uses.
I mean, if we were within striking range,
I feel like it
and
doesn't
they
need to
intended
do
to kill
that.
us, wouldn't it be better just to send a real cannonball?
I mean, I feel like it doesn't need to do that. It's the ghost ship Asuna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if it wanted us dead, they would have just opened fire
Also,
on us with
presumably
real cannonballs.
somebody would have escaped and been able to tell about it.
And that's what gives me
I'm going
pause.
to give this to you, almost like a weather report.
Fair enough.
So the answer that you get back is wheel with a 30% chance of woe.
All right.
Okay. Not the worst odds.
So, bones are giving me kind of a mixed result here, but they say it's not an instant death trap. This is not. They might actually be legit on this. Best I can tell you, Skipper. Sorry, man. Gather up my bones and.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Gotta make a decision.
All right.
So here's what you need to decide
Yep.
with this is do you stop and allow them to catch up under the flag of parlay? Essentially, it's three choices. Do you stop, let them catch up, and then
Is it
Attack.
stop and parlay,
Yeah.
stop and fight, or keep running?
or keep
Stop, parlay, stop, fight,
or
keep going.
do we do the yes parlay, and then when they come up to parlay, we blow them out of the water.
That's what we're saying. Stop,
That's-
parlay, stop,
yeah.
pretend to parlay, and then attack, or just keep fleeing.
Don't think we've got the firepower to sink 3 ships
No.
with one surprise attack.
Is this whole discussion is happening above deck, right?
Yeah.
For now, but oh geez, I just want to preface this, guys. I'm sorry if this gets us killed. Donaar is going to pull out his copper wire. He's going to point down below decks and say, "Torque, stop rowing. Bring everybody onto the deck."
And I just got the crew morale up.
All right. dot.
All right, we doing this, Chief?
Yes.
All right, I will. Minor,
Again, Captain, you know there's an entire song about the ship being horrible.
Yes, it's the... Yes. Like, what are you doing?
minor illusion, a flag of parlay at the top of our mast.
Okay.
The rain and sea and storm winds crashed against our ship with wrath, and from the deck of that cursed ship we could hear them laugh. In black and white.
No need to be a Debbie Downer about it.
Donaar will pull the wheel to the port and just get us so that we are sideways. Like
Broadside.
well, so that if they were to come straight at us, yeah, they would T-bone us essentially.
I don't know what he got back from that admiral, but he's trying to kill himself.
Oh.
All right.
No, it's just up to his superior negotiation skills at this point. We'll be fine.
Oh boy.
As you drop sails
Oh god.
and stop the ship, you watch as the Asuna with 2 other ships beside it. Also, as they get closer, you see that there is a semi-material appearance to them. So you have not 1 ghost ship, but 3. The other 2 are smaller. You see before you, as the ship approaches, something old. This ship is not actually as large as you might think, given its reputation. Not much bigger than your own. But there's a evil that just exudes off of it. The waters don't even move around its keel as it just comes straight for you. And at about 500 feet or so, it just suddenly stops. 2 ships on either side, holding a little bit further back. We're going to take a break.
Yeah, seems like the right place for it.
We'll be right back.
Every time, Mike, every time.
I was waiting for it. This time. I was waiting for it.
Hey Elderbrain Collective, if you've been enjoying our live stream D&D campaign and want to support us, there are many ways you can do just that and we would be super grateful. Seriously, it'd be awesome. First, of course, make sure you're following us on Twitch. Once we get our 50 followers goal, we can make our stream even better with subscriber perks. Then, be sure to follow our Twitter account. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post stream VODs as well as additional content coming soon. Of course, you can listen to audio transcripts of our stream on Podbean if that's your preference. Of course, you'll miss out on our handsome faces, but you get our incredible voices, so it's pretty good. You want to hang out with the collective and chat D&D and, well, everything else? Head over to our Discord server. It's open to anyone who wants to join. Finally, we've just launched our Patreon page, which is the optimum and best way to support us. That's redundant, optimum is best. Each tier gets you additional perks, including exclusive Discord emotes, monthly digital content, behind-the-scenes info and creature stats, and, for the truly faithful, you can even gain power over the PCs in-game, live on stream, and have an impact on what happens next. I think that's pretty awesome. We'd love your support. You can find the links to all of our sites on our Linktree. Check out linktr.ee/elderbrain, Linktree/elderbrain. We hope to see you joining us soon as a member of the collective. Happy gaming, everyone.
Whispers in the window are angry waves. Way ho, the sea of souls. Down to the mists as the ocean slaves. Way ho, the sea of souls. Way ho, the sea of souls. Way ho, the sea of souls. Hoist the sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey ho, it's the sea of souls. Oh, way ho, the sea of souls. Way ho, the sea of souls. Hoist the sails round the eddies and shoals. Hey ho, it's the sea of souls. Hey ho, it's the sea of souls. Sea of souls.
Greetings, wary travelers. My name is Mike, and I will be playing the role of Donaar Neurixius, Dragonborn wizard on the Sea of Souls. Allow me to get into character and we can learn a little bit more about this pale golden dragon. Being chosen is supposed to be a good thing. Chosen by the gods to serve a purpose. However, it can mean facing a life alone. I was born in our homeland, Drakor, in the east. And though these scales are supposed to be a blessing, I was reviled by so many. I could see their jealousy, could feel their stares. My own people shunned me, and so I left. I still drew stares when I arrived in Stormhaven. It's hard to miss these scales. But the dwarves were far more accepting of me. I learned I could put my magic to good use out on the seas, so I served aboard a ship, adding my arcana to their arsenal. Maybe one day I'll return home. Maybe they will welcome me as Verithan's champion. Or at least, as kin. For now, though, life among the Gungrim is good. I am used to standing out here, used to towering over this good folk. But what they lack in size, they make up for in heart.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I play the goblin Flick Dogslicer, an Eldritch Knight fighter. Once upon a time, there was a goblin named Flick. That's me. He was a good egg, but as a recently emancipated man, he didn't necessarily have the finest grasp on the rules of free society, and often ended up on the wrong side of the law. So anyway, I'm in this back alley, minding my own business, rooting through the trash, when this old guy in a blue dress and a big floppy hat with stars and crap all over it comes out of nowhere screaming, "Oh my god, it's a goblin," and starts shooting fire out of his hands at me. So I shanked him. I didn't mean to kill him per se, but, heat of the moment and all that. Now, even I knew how this would play out with the guard, so I'm looking for a quick escape. But this old guy didn't even have the courtesy of carrying a coin purse, just this big stupid book. So, yoink, and I beat feet to the pier and sign aboard the first ship that's looking for crew. Long story short, with enough time and patience, even a bozo like me can figure out a little magic from that big old book. I joined a good crew and enjoy my life as a seafaring mercenary, trying to keep ahead of the law and maybe make a coin or two for myself. The end. By Flick.
Greetings, tale seekers and story watchers. I am Devon, medieval enthusiast and D&D veteran since my 11th birthday when I received the 3rd edition starter set. Led to a bit of a collection. I will be playing the part of Taylind Wavesinger, human bard and mariner, master of the weaponized sea shanty. Oh, it'd be alright if the wind was in our sails. Taylind is a man slowly being consumed by his own faults. He drinks far too much, and has quite a ruthless disposition against those he dislikes. But he still tries to do what's right when he can. As for his goals, well, I'll let him tell you. Oh, me name is Taylind Wavesinger, and I quickly tell to you of a man that I am a-hunting across the ocean blue, with power over the sea and sky. Believe me when I say that when I finally find the bastard, it'll be his last day.
In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man. Down to a sunless sea.
Torque is a Tortle barbarian, presumed to be the sole survivor of the Loggerhead tribe. Even by Tortle standards, Torque is a taciturn individual, never deigning to use 5 words where 2 will suffice, and as such has been less than forthcoming in sharing his personal history with his compatriots. What is known of Torque is that he was discovered on a remote island by a passing merchant vessel, having apparently been marooned there for some years in the wake of a shipwreck which destroyed the rest of his tribe. It is for this reason that Torque holds a special reverence for Desfuna, goddess of the ocean, whom he believes spared his life in the ocean storm that decimated his kin. Having spent the better part of a decade in near total isolation, Torque is unfamiliar with the ways of the modern world, and his social skills are somewhat lacking. It is perhaps for this reason that he has chosen to align himself with allies who are blessed in the gift of gab, as he continues on his pilgrimage, the destination of which is unknown even to himself. Hi everyone, my name is Jack, and I am not a professional voice actor or performer by any means. However, I do have a serious passion for tabletop RPGs, and I hope that you enjoy this upcoming game as much as we're going to enjoy playing it.
Donaar,
Yeah?
I would like you to roll me a D100, please.
Oh, jeez. That's not going to be good. All
Roll
right.
100. Roll 100.
My numbers are
roll
better.
100.
And the augury said there was a 30% chance of this going sideways. Says roll over 30.
All right, D100.
I'm on to you, DM.
No,
Well,
you're not.
I rolled over a 30.
With a
I
32?
got a 41.
Yeah, that's great. You did great. Hey, you made a decision in less than 20 minutes, so kudos. That's groundbreaking for this group.
That's true.
Really, we should really be celebrating that, if nothing else.
I'm assuming that all of you, the 4 of you, were all on
Now
deck together.
Up on deck, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Torque brought up the rest of the crew as well.
One by one, just a moment after each other,
Die.
you each suddenly just kind of levitate off of the deck
Oh.
of the ship and just whoop. Feel yourself just kind of being lifted by unseen hands. Just, it's not uncomfortable. It's not painful. It's just kind of a.
That ain't normal.
Is concerning.
And you begin.
I mean, could we really be surprised at this point?
You
Now, is it
begin
just the
slowly
4 of us, or is it-
moving. Just the 4 of you. And you begin slowly moving through the air towards the Asuna.
You know, I've been studying how to do this.
How's that going for you?
Not well.
As Torque levitates off the ground, he's going to just shout back to the rest of the crew, just that, if we're not back in an hour, continue on the course and don't look back. As he's like actively drifting away.
Y'all just kind of look at each other like, what do we do?
If you steal any of my liquor, I'll haunt you.
As you get closer to the deck of the Asuna, you see only one figure standing there. No ghastly crew of skeletal or decrepit or even ghostly figures, just one. Very slender, clearly elvish woman, sort of bluish green skin, ears quite long, thick black hair just cascading down behind her, almost down to her waist. Tattered black cloak hanging off her shoulders. Blood red blouse with a single amulet hanging. Black pants. Knee-high black leather boots. And she just stands and waits. As you're brought closer, you softly touch down on the deck.
Now, did she appear to be the one doing that, or like
She was not moving at all.
All right.
She was just kind of standing like this, just, arms crossed, just
Watching
watching.
us come over.
And as you touch down on the deck, another feature becomes immediately apparent. Her eyes are solid, dark red. Features pale, lips pale, bloodless. And you can just see peeking out of her mouth the points of sharp fangs.
Oh boy! One of us is becoming a dampier tonight, boys.
And
My
as
money's on Taylind, all things considered.
as you stand on the deck, a moment goes where she just kind of looks at you. And then with soundless footsteps, walks towards you. Puts her hands open. The crew of the Radiant Dawn. The one my lord has named Shadowbane.
That's
you
going in the
irk
title.
his plans. And yet you have also proven to be useful. It is curious that I am called to summon more than one ship for one target. It seems you have piqued my lord's interest, and thus you have piqued my curiosity. A bargain is to be offered to you. Understand when I tell you that this is not my desire. Were it up to me, you'd be part of my crew now, one way or another. And she kind of licks her lips at that, and you can see as she pierces her tongue with her one fang, just a little drop of pale blood.
Yeah, creepy.
You are given one chance of parley to hear my lord's offer. Accept and we may talk, negotiate, and no harm will come to you or to your crew. Refuse? And I have permission to do whatever I must, whatever I desire. So, what do you say to my offer of parley?
Mark is gonna just kind of like give Donaar a look, sort of like is that like a just sort of like permission to speak, kind of glance.
Taylin's hand will just kind of clench the rapier at his side a little bit, and he'll also eye Donaar, not as if looking for permission, but more of a like, at your command.
Donaar will look down at Flick.
Pop page out. She sort of,
That's brave.
and I have her sort of perch over on Donaar. I was like, I give a shrug. It's like, we're here. Let's hear her out.
Donaar will turn slightly towards Torque. What's up, Torque?
Permission to address our permission to address our
Benefactor.
host, Captain.
Sure.
You say that you wish to negotiate with us. This implies the setting of terms on both sides. I just want to be clear that that is what you're offering as opposed to an ultimatum.
I do not wish to negotiate, but my lord has deemed it so. But yes, a quid pro quo is being
Now-
suggested if you decide to talk.
Suppose we do decide to talk, but we end up leaving this meeting without being able to reach agreeable terms. Would that be deemed the same as a refusal?
You are clever. I like it.
Not clever, merely experienced.
Practical.
They are the same. If you talk, we discuss, and you decide that what my master offers is not to your liking. You will be allowed to go this last time. But the next time that I set eyes on your ship, I will hunt you to the edges of the earth. There will be no quarter, no mercy. So, you may leave now, and I will drag your ship down to the depths. Or you may talk. And either delay the inevitable, or perhaps gain a longer ceasefire, shall we say. A reprieve of hostilities. You're right.
Quick sidebar with the captain, if I may. Captain, Torque is going to
By all means.
make a gesture of wrapping the wire around the finger to communicate that he wants Donaar to send him a message.
Okay.
Don't
Donaar
worry, I'll
will,
distract her with small talk.
Donaar will wrap his copper wire and point at Torque. All right, Torque.
Telepathically, Torque will say, I think we should agree to this, Captain. Even if we don't leave on the best terms, this could be a vital opportunity to gain some intel on the enemy.
I think you're right. I don't think we have much option either way. If nothing else, we can at least get away today and live to fight another day.
Shall I accept on your behalf, then?
Sure.
Why is Torque doing the talking?
Because Torque isn't Donaar?
I was gonna say, have you met the captain?
Once the telepathic,
That's a fair argument.
once the telepathic messaging is done, Torque will turn back, arms folded, and say, on behalf of Captain Donaar of the Radiant Dawn, we agree to your terms, Miss.
Captain Uragani.
Captain Organi. We have found your terms acceptable, and we are open to negotiation.
I'll put in that chat there for you guys. Uragani.
I was almost right.
Uragani. Good.
She gives
Not
a
to
little
be
bit of
confused with Paige, who is origami.
She gives a little. She gives a small kind of like a curtsy, and she gives a little clap of her hands, and the door behind her to the cabin opens, and you see two skeletal figures kind of like come shambling out, carrying a table between them, like a very rough makeshift table. You kind of like set it down on the we're just like right in the middle of the deck. As they're walking away, two more come with stools and just set up stools around the table.
While this is happening, refresh my memory, does one of us here have telepathic bond, or am I having a moment where I'm misremembering something from another D&D party I was in?
I ain't got no telepathy.
I believe, Donaar, did you not take that from... Did you not swap Ravi's telepathic bond with Kamari?
I do not have it listed.
That was one of the ones that she'd offered. I believe. Maybe it wasn't.
No, it's not.
In that case, Torque will just say, keep that wire handy, Captain. We might need to do some below the table conferring amongst ourselves.
Okay.
Cute of you to assume that I cannot read your minds, but okay.
While
Consider it due diligence.
While this was all being set up, just for my fracturability of true sight, is there any verbal or semantic component to that, or do I just activate it mentally?
You just kind of calling it inwardly.
Then, as these skeletons are coming out, I would like to use true sight.
Okay.
I want to see what this ship actually is, and I want to see what Uragani actually is.
All right.
Torque
there's any
is
deception.
going to pull Taylind aside and be like, "Now, Taylind, I have a very special task for you during these negotiations.
Roll a d6 for me, Mike.
Yep.
I need you to think of
2.
the loudest, most obnoxious sea shanties you know. And
All of them?
think about them as much as possible. Run them through your head as many times as you can. Full volume. If you really can't read our minds, then
I'm not already doing that.
if you really can read our minds, then perhaps this might drown it out somewhat.
To be clarified, you want me to do this in my head and not out loud?
Which I know is quite difficult for you. Which is why I'm conferring now to make sure you're up to the task.
I think I could probably pull this off, yeah.
Very good.
All right. Donaar.
Mm-hmm.
Uragani is exactly what she appears to be. As are these skeletal figures. They're not illusion. They're there. They're dead. Standing along the gunnels on either side of the ship, along its entire length, your true sight reveals an entire crew of ghostly apparitions, all armed, all standing guard. At least a dozen or more. You are surrounded.
I'll lean into Donaar. I mean, it's just her and 2 guys. We can take them, right?
There we go. Hattie Doyle's Boots. That song is obnoxious.
I think at that Donaar will
Appreciate the prop comedy.
Donaar will kind of kneel down and put a hand on Flick's shoulder and just shake his head. No, we're not.
All right, plan B. I'm going to think about lunch. Rotten tomatoes, rotten potatoes, rotten...
All right.
It's really obnoxious.
So, she invites you all to have a seat. Donaar, you notice she catches you looking. As you kind of look, and you look. She gives you a knowing look and just gives you a nod. Precautions.
Donaar will
Call
kind
it
put
due
his hands up.
diligence.
I understand.
Drink whiskey and gin. To me,
It is not often that those who do not serve my master gain his favor in a way. I'm sure this confuses you.
Yeah.
That delights me.
So just to be super clear here, you're not talking... Which master is it? Is it Triscuits or the other guy?
Umbra, I'm assuming, since they called us Shadowbane.
Yeah, well, I'd like her to say it explicitly, just because I'm a little...
Yeah, I want to hear her say it.
I serve Umbra. And only Umbra. Only ever.
Nailed it.
So the other guy, got it.
Triscades. So you see, this is interesting. We were at truce with him. He and the Dark Master were working together until Truscades betrayed Umbra. You see, it was supposed to be Umbra who is brought into this material plane. But Truscades took advantage of the veil that separates the elder gods from this world, calling upon the powers that he has gained from the void, in which he is subsumed from that which he has taken control of in this realm. He temporarily blocked Umbra from this ritual, and he put himself in. Had it gone through, it would have been Truscades who entered into this world in a more full way, to usurp Umbra's reign over death and undeath and darkness.
Yeah, it's gotta suck.
So, curiously enough, by stopping the ritual, you did my master a favor.
How wonderful.
One that he is most appreciative of.
I'll bet he's just laughing himself to sleep right now that a veil helped him out.
He does not laugh. I find it funny. But to the point. Because you have, for the moment, helped Umbra, he knows that you are not going to serve him. You have no intent on following him. You are all too, well, I wouldn't say goody two-shoes. I can see that some of you walk the fine line of morality. He has his servants in the living and the dead as well, don't you worry. But either way, he is willing to not pursue hostility towards you, which is why we're sitting here and I am not feasting on you. But you've shown your capabilities, and in exchange for his servants, not just me and my fleet, but those who walk the land, those who dwell in all realms, who follow Umbra. In exchange for them leaving you be, you do something for him. Something that will not tarnish your consciences, don't worry. Are you at least interested in what I propose? This is not an agreement. This is just to continue conversation.
Well, yeah. Sure. May as well hear it out.
Yeah. What does Umbra want us to do?
Good.
Other than eventually die.
And as a follow-up question, why does he need us to do it specifically? You seem fairly capable.
Barely.
Need? No, it doesn't need. This is to add insult. This is to make it rich for the one that you hunt down, for them to know that it is not even a servant of Umbra that takes them out. It's beautiful. There is an ex-priest of Umbra, one who has betrayed him, not for some noble purpose or to, just turn to good or any nonsense like that, but who has sold his services to one of the other gods of evil, to Grimorgan. She's the one about disease and poison and all that nonsense. This ex-priest, he served Umbra faithfully for many years, but was corrupted by the sweet smell of decay. So they're close together. Grimorgan, Umbra, decay, poison, death, they all kind of go together. But Gmorgan's purposes and Umbra's don't align. And so Umbra sees this as a betrayal. Even worse than if this malcontent were to go and serve one of the goody two-shoe gods. You find him, you kill him, his soul goes to Umbra, you take out the bad guy, it's all good.
Sounds far too simple. There's got to be a catch.
We have to find him.
I'm talking like when we finally kill him, something else is going to happen. In that way, that'll be some sort of act of allegiance.
His soul goes to Umbra. It's glorious. I told you. This is personal for Umbra. Imagine the look on the priest's face. And he realizes that it is not a servant of Umbra who has come calling for him for his betrayal, but one of Umbra's enemies.
And in exchange for
You don't find that
carrying out-
amusing?
in exchange for carrying
It's
out this
kinda
assassination, you would cease to pursue us.
The undead and the living who serve Umbra will not attack you. Unless, of course, you attack us first. Now, there are undeads who do not fall under Umbra's sway. It is a matter of inconvenience, but Triscades, I'm sure you've noticed, has his own. I can speak nothing for them. They will do as their master bids. But my master, yes, he's the god of undeath, and darkness and shadow. But if he gives his word, it is binding.
So, the undead stay out of our way.
His undead.
His
Yes.
undead stay out of our
Yes.
way if we agree to this. Is that
Yes.
still going to be the case after we've completed this deed? Or
It
once we
will
wipe out
hold.
the priest, will they start coming after us?
With Triscades' betrayal of Umbra, my master wishes to see that intruder, that false god, suffer. He knows that you desire it too. And that ultimately your goal is to remove this cancerous entity from this realm, which is what Umbra wishes as well. To that end, in order to allow you to follow through on that path, we will not get in your way. Once you die, well, you'll go wherever you go. But should you succeed in Triscades being eliminated, all will be back to normal. We will not hunt you any more than we would anyone else, but you become fair game, as you were before. I think it is a fair deal. An unusual one. I couldn't believe it when Umbra told me. But there you have it.
Sorry, what are we getting out of this other than
Not being attacked.
not being hunted for a couple of weeks?
No, for until we take out Triscades.
Yeah. Once Triscades is
Yeah,
gone,
so a couple
then...
of weeks, right? Like
Well,
Ah, ever the optimist.
Do you know how many undead there are?
I guess what I'm missing is why are we being hunted now?
because we actively seek to punch Umbra in the face.
Sorry, why do we do that? Why? Sorry, I'm missing the context here.
You are being hunted because all the living who do not serve Umbra.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. Yeah, we're all food to you, so why the hell should we work for you? I don't get it.
You are not working, I suppose, in a way.
We're subcontracting for you, or whatever you want to, however you want to dress it up.
A show of good faith in exchange for an indefinite truce.
Let me put it to you this way. So the Sea of Souls now. Tuskadi's held sway over it for a while. He was given the realm. Well, the Sfuna held it, but we know what happened. But Umbra now has a hold over the undead, called Sea of Souls home, since Tuskadi's has been dealt quite a mighty blow. You get to sail the entire Sea of Souls with none of his servants bothering you at all. You sail right past, you walk right past, you swim right past. We do nothing. We leave you be. That alone, I think, is a good deal.
Okay, yeah, you said your bit. I just sort of turned to Donaar. I was like, okay, my vote. Anyway.
Craig,
Yes.
does the afterlife in like generally work the same as it would like with the outer planes and the gods and all that stuff? Or is it similar? I think I've asked this question before.
Yeah. So for those who are devout to a specific deity, you basically, your soul is to go, like, is not claimed by, but you will go to the afterlife or the realm that is tied to them. You will go to dwell with them. And those who are not, there is kind of the general Hades death.
Okay.
Just kind of like a
generic underworld.
Yeah.
Not like a heaven and hell situation. It's more of a just you either go to a god's domain or to like limbo purgatory place.
Yeah, but there are the hells. There is the abyss. There are, your soul can be claimed by certain gods and stuff. But yeah, it's
okay. Oh, I get it. Okay. Now, if you, let's say, are cursed by a god, and then you perish, does your soul get claimed by said god, or does it go on its normal journey? Is that something that would be known?
Because you more or less grew up in a temple,
in a priory, yes.
You would know that even with something like a curse, there's that balance that, if your faith, let's say your faith in Marantha were stronger than that curse, like you lived from Marantha, then that would be enough to kind of allow you to go to,
I see,
paradise that awaited for you.
But otherwise you would be going to the cursed domain.
Yeah, and essentially what Silas had indicated to you as well is that the curse on the family was that the souls of the Veils up to that point had all belonged to Umbra. That he'd claimed them. Now there were those who broke away. There were those like Tanchu, for example, who served Desfuna faithfully. So those who chose the path of virtue and were able to,
so we're talking, it would have
break free of Umbra. That curse is technically still there.
Right. But it would have to have been somebody who like devoted their lives to being a priest of another god, and that'd be the only way to escape.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
From what you understand, yeah.
From what I understand. Good to know. Okay. Anyway, sorry, Flick.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Captain Umami here, I don't know. She's
Umami.
Saying a lot of pretty words, but I'm not buying the deal. It's
Not an octopus.
If I may, as Tor kind of like leans forward and puts his claws on the table. Now, from what my understanding is, we have a mutual enemy in Triskades.
That we do.
However, we also have a obligation to help those that we encounter on our travels. You understand, of course, then, that if we were to, say, arrive at a island town that was besought with undead, that this may distract us from our goal in removing Triskades. Protection for ourselves is well and good, but being that this is a negotiation, I will have to try and press you for a bit more. In addition to our safety, in exchange for not only our cooperation in finding this priest, but also in stopping this mutual enemy of ours, what would you say to having your undead refrain from attacking any innocents within this land?
You mean everywhere? For the undead who simply just... What?
back to being regular dead, yeah.
Well, you just said that you can command them not to attack us, so it seems simple enough in principle.
I know I cannot do that. I have
Your master, perhaps?
my crew. You are asking a god to be not who he is. As well, ask the sun not to rise tomorrow. But perhaps
I am asking your god to not act against his best interest.
Give me a persuasion check, Torque.
I love that Torque is thinking what I was thinking.
Ooh, boy.
Oh.
That one.
Whoosh.
I mean, not that, you know. It sounds like it was already falling on deaf ears, so why not make it official?
I don't believe there's anything that would convince my master to cease his domain from operating the way that he intends it to, totally, even for any amount of time.
Just as long, then, that your master...
But suppose that wherever you are, should there be innocents nearby, and well, the undead, they are everywhere, but those who perhaps have been awakened or roaming about, so to speak, or haunting and the like, that they will go dormant. You visit the town, nobody rises from the dead, from the grave to come and haunt. The poltergeists and the like who are active will be quiet. The town will enjoy the reprieve that you yourselves have. For a time. Even that is asking a lot, and I can hear him already screaming at me. This is going to hurt.
The fact that we're even being given that much leeway for such a trivial task is.
Yeah, I mean that's already a lot more than Torque was expecting.
It is suspiciously more.
Anyone want to roll insight, or should I do that?
I am gonna definitely be rolling some insight on this.
Okay. Can I give him advantage? Just based on the fact that like I'm kind of the one that's steering the conversation this way.
With that, I would say yes, because you can't really put heads together to kind of like, okay, so here's what we think. But seeing as you planted that, I'd say yeah, you can give him an inspiration for that, or give him advantage for that.
20.
Fantastic.
I guess what I'm trying to determine is I'll give you a bit more context here.
Yeah.
Getting this deal as it was already kind of surprising. It's kind of like I feel like this is more of a God toying with mortal situation. The fact that we've even we now seem to be like, oh yeah, we will just not attack a town while you're there. There's an element of that where it could still be that, because there's obviously going to be the weight of, well, once we leave, this place is doomed kind of deal. And there could be that element of, I'm going to make you suffer with your morals. But it does seem like this whole scenario is almost a little too lenient. And I'm trying to gauge like if there's something beyond this, if there's more than just I'm bored and I want to toy with mortals.
Okay.
Within reason, obviously a vampire is not going to be very easy to read.
No. I'd say the most that you get is that this is something as she's expressed that this is something personal for Umbra, that he wants to like spike this priest. He wants this priest to like really pay. There's also an element of revenge against Grimorgan, his sister god, who basically stole his priest from him. And so he's willing to have basically the heroes who serve neither Grimorgan nor Umbra be the one to carry out his revenge. For him is just like the ice, that's what's going to stick it to Grimorgan. That's what's going to make this priest really like, it's a moment of satisfaction. There's like something in it that Umbra he wants this to happen, because who knows, maybe it's hilarious. Maybe he's, him and the other gods are getting good.
Yeah.
Evil gods are getting a laugh out of it. Or there might be something else, but you're not able to really.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is going to paint another new target on our backs. And we got another other god who's pissed off at us.
Yeah. Only in the sense that if they know I don't want to get too meta here, but from a god standpoint, I feel like this kind of thing is happening all the time.
Yeah.
This is how gods play games with each other.
Sure, so
I don't think... What I'm saying is I don't think Grimorgan would take it personally.
Well, there's taking it personally, and they're still wiping us out because we did it.
I mean, we won't be making friends, but we're already technically not friends with the evil gods, so...
You guys don't make friends anyways, so I mean...
Exactly.
Make friends with salad.
I'd be curious.
Now I have to name an enemy NPC salad.
I'd be curious to know what the captain thinks about all this, though. He's been suspiciously quiet this entire time.
I am somewhat the one that got us into this mess. I'm curious to hear what you guys think.
No, you are directly
I
responsible.
am not the reason this ship found us and chased us.
That's true.
I'm somewhat responsible for the predicament that we are currently in.
You did chart this course, though.
Yes. Uragani, may I have a moment to confer with my party?
Of course.
May we have a moment of privacy?
No.
Figured it was worth a shot. All right. Donaar will...
You have seen what the others have not seen. You know that is not going to happen.
I know.
But that's cute.
Donaar will not get up from the table, but he will turn around. So instead of facing Uragani, he will turn around and face towards the sea and kind of motion for everybody else to do the same.
While we're having this sidebar, Torque is going to very pointedly think something in Origani's direction. Should I say it out loud, or should I like whisper it to you, Craig, or DM you?
Whichever you want. I'll play it how you play it.
Which is better for the drama? That's the question.
I'm going
If you want to keep it
send
secret
this
from
to
your
you.
party, go for it.
I'm going to send this to you as a private message.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I am excited and scared.
I am only excited because I was going to do that.
What's the conversation that you guys are having?
So there's no conversation. Donaar is going to turn around and wait for everybody else to turn around. And then with his right hand, he's going to go thumbs up, thumbs down, and point to Flick.
No.
Flick's a no. He will point to Taylind.
I would prefer to see how the rest vote first.
I'm gonna grab your hand and turn it, point it to it. It's like, no, come on, come on. The whole
Assuming
point of us having our own ship is that we are our own masters now. We're not working for anyone else. That was the deal. Anywho,
we'll wait for Torque then, I guess.
1 second.
Donaar, you gave your vote? Was that?
No, I did. I haven't given a vote
only
yet.
Flick
No.
So far? I see.
No, only Flick. Flick is thumbs down. You're waiting. I'm waiting.
I've made my choice. It's more so I'm curious to see what everyone else believes, because I'm not sure that I'm actually curious why. I understand why Flick says no to this, I guess, but it is an interesting choice.
I think that
So I just go in thumbs up, thumbs down. So that's all I've asked is yes or no. I'm not saying anything
Torque is going
audibly.
to-
Yeah.
Torque. Okay, if we're not explaining our reasoning, Torque is going to vote yes.
Okay. Then Donaar will look back at Taylind.
It's an interesting choice. There's so many ways this could go. I have reasons, but I'm going to go with a thumbs up. However, I will stipulate that that is a very non-solid. So Donaar could very easily change that. Because it looks like we've got two very firm
Yeah, yes and no.
Yeah. So depending on, I will tentatively say thumbs up for the time being, but that could very well be persuaded. And we're happy to give reasoning through a message situation if need be as well.
Yeah.
Even though that's probably still not that private.
It's not super private anyway.
No. Seeing that, Donaar is going to look back at Flick. And even still, just because at least Taylind and Torque won't hear, Donaar will wrap the copper wire around his fingers, point at Flick. The problem with this is that the reason they were able to find us is we no longer have Desfuna's protection. Even if we reject this and flee to fight another day, there's nothing stopping them from getting us. And while I know you can't see it, there is no way we fight our way off this ship. I'm sorry. And Donaar,
You're the skipper.
well, yeah, and with that, Donaar's head is like he genuinely feels really bad that he's, because Flick is so adamantly no. Donaar he's feeling quite guilty, but he will give a thumbs up, and
Once
he will
the
turn back
threat of
around.
Triskades is dealt with, perhaps then we can renegotiate the terms of this agreement.
Ay.
So Donaar will turn back around.
Now that no one's looking at each other, everyone's paying more attention to Uragani, I'll cast message on Uragani.
Everyone's just
We're just secret messages back and forth.
Okay.
But continue. You'll receive it in a moment.
Oh, okay.
I may reveal it. I want to see where this goes first.
Okay. All right.
Donaar will turn back around. He'll get his elbows up on this table, fists in front of him, kind of clenched. We will seek out this priest. We will dispatch of him. And in return, you will not pursue us. And any town that we visit, the undead will lie dormant.
That is the offer. All who serve Umbra, living and undead, will honor it. While you hunt Triskades. Should you abandon your fight against Triskades, that will also indicate that the ceasefire has ended. I should make that clear.
And once Triskades has been dealt with, shall we renegotiate these terms?
Once Triskades is dealt with, Umbra holds no more animosity towards you than he does to any other living, which is to say that he hates all life, essentially. But you will not be singled out, you will not be targeted. Probably be forgotten, to be honest. Unless you irk him again in another way. Catch his attention somehow. But taking out a powerful enemy of a god. Whether you serve that god or not tends to earn a little bit of favor. Trust me.
It's not the kind of favors I want to be earning, that's all, lady.
Donaar will reach out his hand.
That is not how we agree.
I was waiting for that part.
There is no need for handshake. You give your word, and I give mine. The bargain is made.
This pact has been sealed.
Like he's crossing both fingers during this.
And his toes.
Yeah.
And his ears. And his eyes.
Now may we leave your ship and continue on our way.
He looks over to you, Taylind.
Oh, I forgot about the message.
Momentarily.
All right.
Not initially, but there's the negotiation to be made.
Say this out loud to her.
It's either that or I cast message again.
Okay.
I will beseech the master on your behalf.
Hey, what are you people doing?
I will bow. Of course, another is preferable, but negotiations.
Be sure of what you ask, young one. Now go. Return to your ship.
Well, Donaar will stand up from the table and wait to be levitated back. Hopefully.
Yeah, or do we have to physically go?
You get the sense that she's not offering to send you back.
Yeah, we'll just be let's go.
I guess we're jumping over ship and jumping overboard and swimming.
Is she gonna levitate us again? I don't
think
I
so.
think
hope so.
You don't get the sense she's offering that.
I mean,
No.
like wave for a launch to be sent. Like,
Farewell.
Are we within? I guess
Shadow
Donaar could send a sending spell to maybe get them to send a lifeboat. We have lifeboats, right?
Yeah.
We can also just literally walk.
The
It's true.
Asuna starts to sink.
Oh,
Or
jeez.
the oceans carry us to lands we've never known.
Into
Walk.
the waves. And become slightly less material beneath your feet. And you hear Organi just
as the ship suddenly just is gone. And you find yourselves splashing into the waves. The fog clears. All 3 ships are gone.
Well, I think that went about as well as it could have.
No, we could have just left. She said there was an armistice. We could leave, walk away from the table, and be left alone.
Until next time.
Yeah.
There really is no downside to this deal.
Don't think of it
eternal
as
souls aside, but as we're swimming back to the doggy paddling back to the ship.
Walking, water walk.
Everybody
gets water walk.
There you go.
Like, don't think of this as a alliance between us and Umbrum. We've simply bought more time. It's easier to deal with one god than 2. When Triskades is dealt with, we will see to Umbra as well, I'm sure.
If we're able to deal with Triskades, Umbra is essentially within our target at that point. As it stands, we can't deal with either of them, and a battle on 2 fronts where we're severely outgunned on both just doesn't seem like the smart way to go. And that said, they didn't give us a time limit either.
I still don't quite get why he's got a beef with us at all.
Umbra?
He doesn't have it's not a beef with us. He sees our value.
Oh no, he's got a beef with me.
Why? What did
The
you
way
do?
that I understand it, the
entire Vale family
everyone.
is cursed by Umbra. I believe Silas mentioned that.
Yeah, but there's curses, and then there's like hunting you down to the end. Like, why did he let you live at all? I don't get it.
I get the feeling that Umbra is an entity which prefers to inflict as much suffering as possible and delights in watching their enemies squirm and writhe.
Yeah, see, I don't like working for a dude like that.
Neither do I, but if it allows us to achieve our goals...
It's a high price. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Sometimes you can only obtain something by paying a price.
As you all water walk back to the Radiant Dawn, dry yourselves off. And
I feel like we're just perpetually wet.
Comes with the territory.
And as you contemplate what just occurred, that is where we will end this evening session and this year.
Oh, yeah.
Sea of Souls, as we hiatus temporarily from the campaign until the new year. Next week will be our holiday one-shot. And in the new year, we will pick up the rest of your journey to Queous and the Keep and whatever awaits after that.
What a note to end on.
Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this, for joining us. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Feliz Navidad, etc., etc. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. And we will see you again. Well, we'll see you next week for a holiday special. But this crew of Trepid Adventurers will see you.
Intrepid is the word.
No, Trepid. I said Trepid. We'll see you in the new year. So thank you, everyone. Happy gaming and good night.